I killed children. There are videos of me. I am not hiding it. I was given a command. I killed. What was I supposed to do? I wanted to show you guys something. And what I'm going to show you here is what we currently have on the story. So it's still a developing story. I'm still waiting for more information to come out. I saw people were trying to corroborate social media pages. I saw people were trying to corroborate other sources as well, but this is what we currently have available on the two people that were interviewed in the video we're about to show you. So recently, two Wagner fighters, or two people claiming to be Wagner fighters, were interviewed. They were interviewed by Gulagunet, which is an investigative team, which in this interview, the Wagner fighters claim to have committed many war crimes, including the murdering of over 24 Ukrainian children, executing masses of POWs, Ukrainian POWs with grenades, where they would take the wounded and put them in a pit, then pull the pin on grenades and throw them in there. They claim to have killed many of the, refuseniks, like the people who refuse orders, not just people who refuse to fight, mind you, but people who just refused orders. They claim to kill not like a few people, but like hundreds of people in this way. This guy right here, particularly in the interview, I watched a decent chunk of it. I watched most of it. He is very just like, I want to say, distraught over what he turned himself into, it seems like, in the entire interview. It's a very strange interview. I hope you guys do check it out. They talk about in this video, in the full video, the over hour-long footage portion of it, which you can see online. I have it in this thread if you wanted to go watch it yourself. I don't think it has an English translation yet. That's why I watched it with somebody who could translate it for me. They talk about using rape as a weapon to torture, a whole bunch of stuff, but here's a little portion here that I have had translated by a friend of mine, the Arab Ukrainian on Twitter. You can go check him out if you want to, where we translate him specifically talking about executing a 5 and/or 6-year-old girl after being given direct orders by a high-ranking Wagner commander. I'll read what he says for those who are just listening and not watching. She is running, a small child. You understand? She's maybe 5, 6. I make the control shot. You understand what I'm saying? I was told not to let anyone out. Anyone. The command that was given is to do a cleanup. Everyone who was in our way. Interviewer. Who gave such commands? Starting from the top. My commanders were Koroshin, above him, Iceman, and Stalin. They are the immediate commanders. Above them is Prigozhin, leader of the Wagner Group, who gave the order himself not to let anyone out, to kill everyone. You understand what I'm saying? And we executed those orders. Even women and even civilians. We were not allowed to let anyone out. No one. Not a single person. I want to emphasize it. So this video has a lot. This interview has a lot of stuff in it. It even has claims in it about discussions of assassinating certain journalists, even journalists associated with this specific investigative group. You can go check it out yourself if you speak Russian or Ukrainian. I'm sure eventually there will be a translated version online. Other people online have been working to translate it, either in text form or other ways. If you want to find the full translated version, here's a little bit I can give you. As for evidence that is given for this, because as I said, these are two people claiming to be part of Wagner, being interviewed by this investigative group. Why should we believe it? Well, the investigative group, again, known as Gulagunet, published some documents with the interview in order to add some credibility. They published certificates of their release from prison, because these were both Wagner prisoners. These weren't just, like Wagner elite soldiers from Syria, or soldiers who signed up from the domestic Russian population for money. These were two Wagner prisoners, as in people in the Russian prison system, who joined Wagner in order to obtain early release. And here are the two documents that they provided, saying that these are their documents for release. On top of that, they show a medal for courage that was awarded to one of them in their name, as well as a list from the Federal Penitentiary Service about those who were sent to war. There are other people online that are like doing like social media like washing right now, like going online trying to find social medias. It seems I'd have to go back and check, but I think that there was social media found. This is kind of an important thing I need to check, so I'll check this back later to make sure that's the case. But I believe there was social media that was found for at least one of them. But not everybody in Russia has social media, just like not everybody in the United States has social media. If you go to like some random place in the Midwest, some random farm, you're not going to expect every single person to have social media. But the one that was found was not found to be active, but it does seem like that one of them does have social media. There was other photos of these Wagner soldiers also posted online. But we don't have any physical evidence of the crimes being said. We don't have any photos of the crimes. We don't have any video of the crimes. This is now two versions of testimony of war crimes brought forward by this investigative group. Video of said interview, as well as documents purporting to show, because who knows, they could be altered, purporting to show them, showing them being a part of the Russian military, an active part, who were released and even got medals for the fighting that they did. We can read a little bit more of this, because this is over like an hour long, so we can't go through all of it. But to give you just a bit of the tenor of the conversation that was going on in this video. I killed children. There are videos of me. I am not hiding it. I was given a command. I killed. What was I supposed to do? We were given the command to evacuate civilians from Bakhmut. Artemivsk. I went to save them, those civilians. There were children there. They are the same kind of fighters. They are worthy soldiers. They want to fight for their state, for their idea. I don't condemn them. They are worthy adversaries. But war is war. When I went into the basement, there were children there, and I was commanded not to let anyone out. Not one. I obeyed the command and didn't let anyone out. We went in as a group and didn't let anyone out. There were about 40 children, 300 to 400 people in total. I had no choice. I couldn't do anything else. There was a command to eliminate everyone. It was a big house, a 9-story building. The whole basement, the ground floor, and the first floor were full of people and mind. I had no choice. I made a decision and gave the command to zero everybody out. I gave the command to zero everybody out. Fuck it. And I went in there and everyone was zeroed. Dead. No. There was a definite decision, Prigozhin's word, not to make any kind of terrorist agreement. Those were Prigozhin's words. To kill everyone. Not to take anyone prisoner. We were told this by Prigozhin via video. He told us not to take any prisoners, no one at all. That was days ago. I will even tell you when it was. It was on the 18th of March. We went into Bakhmut, into the center of town, and parked. The last battle was given. Our guys were shot down. We received a call report, and after this report, we had a command to destroy the enemies. We found a crew with artillery, shelled with artillery, and went by storm, and killed all the Yevslers. Children got hurt. I feel sorry for the children. A lot of kids died. It happened, yes. We are not hiding it. There's blood on my hands. So, this is just part of it. The entire conversation
Burns
is like
an
this.
immoral,
I listened to a lot
corrupt,
of it.
bankrupt man.
I listened to a lot of it. The entire conversation is just him talking about how they would take grenades and throw them into pits with the wounded and kill them. How he had to execute like at least 8 people he knew for, just refusing orders. How they used rape to punish dissent in the organization. There's a lot in this video. There is a lot of damning testimony in this video from these two Wagner soldiers. Now, they talk about in this section about there being a video that this thing by Prigozhin was via video. What I want to see, and this is what I would think would be really the most damning piece of evidence, because as of right now, right, what we have is testimony from two people claiming to be in Wagner with documents behind them showing them in Wagner. We'd like to assume that those documents were not edited, but we don't know that for sure. And so the best evidence that could be provided at this point would be some physical evidence of the crimes committed, more information about locations to see if we can find anything like other reports that could corroborate their actions, or maybe that one of these orders being given by video. If these orders were given by video, hopefully something was recorded. If they took any pictures or recorded any of their actions, anything they could, if they could show these orders that were given, whether they were given by text, phone call, anything, that could be evidence. All stuff for war crime and war crime trials. As of right now, we have damning testimony, a medal, and some documents, right? Which is a lot, right? Mind you, this isn't just some random internet rumor. This seems to be an investigative team trying to back up their story with sources and backing documents. But the stronger this case is, the better it would be used in advancing any war crimes trial, and the easier it would be for mainstream news publications to talk about this without having to say, well, you know, this haven't been 100% confirmed, because it hasn't. And I'm waiting for more confirmation. I hope this isn't true, but so far the investigators have put forward a decent enough case. My goodness. Grobosh, thank you so much for the Prime and being sub for 23 months. I appreciate it, buddy. And a hell of a story, right? I think I sent somebody the social media stuff for this person. I think it's online. Yeah, here it is. Reportedly, the Wagnerite who admitted killing civilians in Bakhmut, including 5 to 6-year-old kids, is an ex-convict, Azmat S. Oldarov, date of birth December 7th, 1981. Social media pages are inactive. Let's see. See it. Yeah, this is like a, oh, is this it? Yeah, this doesn't really have anything. No picture, no posts, no photographs. Yeah, I mean, this is something. this is a page, but this doesn't really tell us anything. Doesn't tell us anything about them. Nothing. No photos, no anything. God, I really wish we had more. That sucks. But here are some pictures. That's from the interview. That's of his documents. Of him. That's of him with some stuffed animals. My goodness. If this is true, I would gladly give my life to destroy Russia once and for all. Okay, calm down, calm down. What's that one quote from the Patton movie? You're not a hero from, that's not. You don't win a war by giving your life for your country. You win a war by making that other poor bastard give his life for his country. But also, let's not LARP. They seem like a wonderful bunch. Yeah, it seems like a real wonderful bunch. But the thing is, I don't know if I covered this on stream, but we've already seen videos come out of Wagner like beheading Ukrainian soldiers. I don't know if I covered this on stream. This is like just from like a week ago. Like not even that far back. Zelensky slams beasts who purportedly beheaded Ukrainian soldiers after video emerges. We're not going to watch the video on stream for obvious reasons. It's not easy to watch. And then they took his head and they like put it on sticks. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Wednesday condemned beasts condemned those as beasts who purportedly beheaded Ukrainian soldiers, shown in 2 videos that emerged on social media in the past week. The video appears to be of separate events. One of them may have been filmed very recently, while the other, from the amount of foliage seen on the ground, looks like it was filmed during the summer. The first video, which was posted to a pro-Russia social media channel on April 8th, was purportedly filmed by Russian mercenaries from the Wagner Group and appears to show the beheaded corpses of 2 Ukrainian soldiers lying on the ground next to a destroyed military video. In the video, a voice can be heard. Behind the camera, the sound seemingly distorted to prevent the speaker's identification. "Get effed by a mine," the voice speaking Russian says. Apparently referring to the bodies on the ground, the voice laughing continues, "They killed them. Someone came up to them. They came up to them and cut their heads off." The dead soldiers also appear to have had their hands cut off. Russian social media accounts say the video was shot near Bakhmut in eastern Ukraine, which has seen some of the war's fiercest fighting for many months, with Wagner fighters heavily involved. CNN is unable to independently confirm the video's location. The second video, which was posted on Twitter and is heavily blurred, looks to have been filmed during the summer because of the amount of plant life on the ground. It purports to show a Russian fighter using a knife to cut off the head of a Ukrainian soldier. A voice at the beginning of the video suggests the victims might have still been alive when the attack began. Zelensky vowed that those behind the reported atrocities would be held accountable. "There is something that no one in the world can ignore: how easily these beasts kill," he said in the video message. "We are not going to forget anything. Neither are we going to forgive these murderers. There will be legal responsibility for everything. The defeat of terror is necessary." The Kremlin spokesperson, Dmitry Peskov, said Wednesday that the video was terrible, but first of all, we need to verify the authenticity of the footage. In his regular call with journalist, Peskov said, "Of course, these are terrible shots. Then it may be a reason to check whether this is true or not, whether this took place, and if so, where and from which side." The Institute for the Study of War said that Wagner was reportedly continuing to commit war crimes by beheading Ukrainian servicemen in Bakhmut. And then they show one of the pictures of a Ukrainian soldier with his head mounted on a spike. Anyway, this type of stuff Wagner engages in like quite frequently. So the thing is, talking about the authenticity of this one video, we can put that off for now and wait for more evidence to come forward. The evidence against Wagner is overwhelming, and brutality and horror and death and destruction and war crimes are part of their image, and it was purposely constructed that way. They're supposed to look like complete brutal, barbaric, horrible people. They're supposed to look like the most disgusting people on the planet. They take videos of them beating people to death with sledgehammers and post it openly on social media, and they make jokes about it. They want to have this image so they can use that image in warfare to terrify the enemy, to terrify people. And since they're not technically the Russian military, they don't believe they're covered by the Geneva Convention, and so they think they can act this way as much as they want, and then act as a dividing line between themselves and the Russian government, so the Russian government doesn't need to be held directly responsible for the dirty work that they have the Wagner boys do. That's part of the reason why they probably recruit prisoners. By using prisoners, it's, if you have a murderer, it's a lot easier for them to murder, is I guess the easy way to put it. Big surprise, you get a bunch of murderers and tell them to murder people, and they will murder people.